What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Bless. I'm kicking it with my co-hostess with the mostest, Lemme Kno. And today we have a very special guest, my homie Tyler Lemco in the building. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Interesting thing, first time I meet you, I've heard a lot about you and a lot of things you've done in the realm of comedy over the years. Why don't you introduce yourself to whoever's not familiar?
I'm Tyler Lemco. I make nonsense. Look me up. You'll dislike it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So basically,
I actually knew you. I remember listening to Plattenberg when I was like 13, 14.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Well, I bought the album.
Yeah, so
Right?
I listened to his album of Plattenberg. I didn't buy two, sorry.
Well, at least you guys bought one, which counts for a lot now because
Or did
nobody
you
buys
burn it?
music anymore.
No, I bought it.
You know what? Even if you took the time to burn it, I still consider it a high compliment. So thank you very much for supporting, gentlemen.
Respect.
And basically, you might not know it, but you seem to be at the forefront of hip hop culture just based on, your description of what you do.
I guess.
You
How
make
so?
nonsense.
Yeah, is hip hop just nonsense now? I guess
Well, you're at the forefront of this new wave, then.
Yeah, I'm at the forefront of just trying to get attention on the internet, which is hip hop now.
Which is hip hop.
So yeah.
Speaking about attention, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Did anyone see Kanye West's ridiculous rant today?
I did. I heard about it, but I missed it. Why don't you get us up to speed?
So he goes on this rant about Eminem, and I think there was another guy. There was Nick Cannon was part of the rant.
Okay.
And it was.
What did Nick Cannon do?
Nick Cannon said
Nick Cannon's always a punching bag for hip hop because he never fires
Poor
back,
Nick
and he's the
Cannon.
nicest guy.
Nicest guy.
Kanye West has beef with Nick Cannon because he said something about Kim Kardashian. Drake said something about Kim Kardashian. The Kiki
Kanye is
line.
wild and out.
But they didn't get that.
So yeah, Kanye went on this explosive rant today, just like calling out everyone.
Saying what, basically?
I don't think you're allowed to talk about his wife anymore. That's like his new rule. Is Kim Kardashian, the girl who's known for starting her career with a sex tape, is no longer allowed to be in the public eye being spoken bad about because she's married to Kanye West and he's in love with her.
Well, at least they're in love. What I find interesting about Kim Kardashian is she's famous for sucking a dick, but not really. She's famous for being friends with Paris Hilton, who's famous for sucking a dick.
But then she got famous for also sucking a dick.
Exactly.
No, she got famous for fucking.
For what?
Sure.
fucking.
They both
Well,
fucked.
I think,
they both. I use the term sucking a dick as fucking.
Okay.
You know?
Did you
there.
guys ever see that sex tape with Ray J?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was I always thought she was like the baddest chick, but when I seen the sex tape, I'm like, she's one of those girls that you're so happy to hook up with, like when you see her clothed, and then that was disappointing. I hope she stepped up her beat game since then.
Right.
And I'm sure if Kanye's that in love, she did. So nothing but happiness to both of them. But tell us more about the rant. What did he say in the rant?
He went on this tirade. I think it was like a 5-part Instagram story where he just left the phone going, and he was walking underneath a bridge. I think he's in Chicago or maybe even New York.
Okay.
And it's a bad angle. It's like Kanye West double
He's bad
chin,
at social media.
facing upwards like an old dad mode. You know what I mean? Like he really doesn't know what he's doing, and he just goes on this long ass tirade. He started talking about how when Drake and Pusha T were in the beef, he was on like a heavy amount of drugs. He was heavily medicated, so he wasn't about the beef, but he never said anything because he was on drugs. It was a lot of just Kanye ranting about anything that's bothering him and him being like, I want to keep positive vibes, positive energy, positive.
But that's good, though. That's good. I commend him for that because, look, the guy's going through a tough point in his life, and I think a lot of times we hold celebrities on a pedestal and we forget that they're real people going through emotions and a world of pressure that nobody understands besides
100%.
them. We don't know all the factors in his life, and I think that sometimes we hold people to a big standard because the media shows them in this
portrays them in
powerful.
A certain way. So this is my question. Because there's so many beefs going on right now, you got Nicki and Cardi, and you got Eminem, GK, and you got Drake and Pusha.
It's all good for hip hop,
right? It is
all good for hip hop.
Minus the Tekashi stuff. I'm not huge
Even
on that.
that is kind of quasi good for hip hop because he's bringing in energy.
My question is, what is too far?
What is too far?
Where do we draw the line? Is it family members? Is it friends? Where is the line? Tyler, I'd like you to start this one.
What do you think?
I think if you're in the public eye and your life is to be a notable figure, then yeah, like don't like camp out outside someone's house or break into their house or anything. Like they have to have a life, but in terms of like what you can speak on,
nothing's off limits.
I don't think there's a line.
Listen, I tend to agree with Tyler in terms of when you put yourself out there as a public figure, you forfeit privacy, and there's a lot of mentally disturbed people who are going to obsess over random things on the internet, and you will get caught in the crosshairs.
Well, that's the whole issue with fame. Everyone nowadays just wants fame without realizing it's horrible.
The ramifications of what
let me tell you.
I remember I was watching, you ever watch comedians in cars getting coffee?
Yes.
So have you seen the Gary Shandling episode?
I think I missed that one.
There's
but I like him. He's funny.
There's a really awesome part in that where Robin Williams had just killed himself. And Jerry asked, like they both know him, or knew him, and Jerry asked him, like, were you surprised? And Shandling responds, he goes, I was watching the news the other day, and the announcer was like, I don't know why he would do such a thing. He had just wrapped filming a movie. He had another one that he was promoting. He was supposed to be in a Broadway play. He's the producer of a TV show. He had all these things going for him. I don't know why he would do such a thing.
Gary Shandling said that?
Yeah. And he's like, you just said it. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's your answer.
The pressure was too much.
Yeah, fame is not good. The grass isn't greener.
It definitely isn't. And he touched on something that I was going to loop Kanye into. I saw that, I don't know if you guys saw that interview where he's on a Chicago radio show, and a girl who was interviewing him, got emotional over the stuff that he said on TMZ. And he kind of got emotional. And then towards the end, he summed it up really well. And he goes, look, every time I put out a hot song, I got to compete with Drake. Every time I put out a hot shoe or a piece of clothing, I got to compete with Off-White and fucking Louis Vuitton and whoever else in Supreme. Every time I fucking leave my house, my wife is Kim Kardashian. And then I'm on fucking Twitter getting dissed about the size of my flip-flops. He's like, I don't have time to do it all. You know what I mean?
Any
and everybody's looking at me with a microscope, even if I'm depressed, even if I'm on drugs. So that is probably very close to the Robin Williams situation. And definitely I agree with you that fame isn't always what it's cracked up to be, especially if you're not famous for a decent reason, right?
What I like about Kanye is when he goes on those rants about like, I'm Walt Disney, I'm Michael Jackson, I'm the greatest artist of this generation, like... Good for him, because he's not wrong.
And because you know what he's doing, he's speaking it into existence. He's willing it into existence.
What's the... He is.
Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Kanye West has not been good this entire era. Like this whole new school era.
Here's
yes not been good.
Okay,
bro.
wait, big picture. Kanye West, since he came out, has consistently been the... He's been ahead of the curve. Whatever he puts out, everyone has to copy. I thought Yeezus was the first attempt at that failed, that he tried to be different and no one was down with it. Okay. And then Life of Pablo was not a bad album, but it was the first album he put out that was like just a good rap album.
I mean, musically, I think our tastes are probably similar, just because we kind of grew up on good hip hop. But just because it might not be our particular brand of hip-hop or our cup of tea, or we like the more sample, soulful Kanye shit that he did earlier in his career, doesn't mean those projects failed, because his influence and his reach only got bigger and bigger. His brand only got bigger and bigger.
And whatever he did... That's what the industry was like, oh, fuck, we have to do this now.
You're right. And I think
he was that guy.
I think he is a genius, and he's always been ahead of the curve. His taste is incredible in music. His taste is incredible in fashion. And whenever he drops something, out of all the garbage that's out there, it's always a little better, much better done, just a little more interesting, and it's always notable. Well, that's what more can we demand from artists?
That was my issue with Pablo, was that it was, for all intents and purposes... It was an 8.5 rap album, but that's what the point I'm making here. But it was a Kanye West album, so it was a 5.
But
if French Montana put that out, it's a 10.
Bingo. And maybe Kanye's goal with those projects weren't to make the best hip-hop album possible. It was to push the brand further and experiment a little outside of the box.
Has he really pushed his brand? Because
he pushed the fuck out of his brand.
Okay, so hear me out. I mean,
first of all, every fucking hipster in LA, their life uniform is whatever that man wears. Facts.
Fair.
Facts.
Fair. They follow him blindly. That I will give you.
Bro.
my big.
He's an industry onto himself.
Like in terms of the world today is so obsessed with influencers. There's no one with a bigger influence other than maybe his wife.
Yeah, ironically.
Got you. What I'm saying as a hip hop purist, as someone who's known.
But we can't only talk as hip hop purists when talking about Kanye because he's not just trying to do that. He's not R.A. the Rugged Man, which, by the way, he reminds me of.
Me?
You look kind of like R.A. the Rugged Man.
Before.
A little bit.
There you go.
A little bit. This is my brother, and it's the first time I've heard it. No, my thing with Kanye, I don't think that
I like R.A. the Rugged.
I don't think
he's a great rapper.
I like him.
I don't think he's pushing the envelope anymore. His shoes are the same shoes, just in different colors. His music is not in the forefront anymore. I mean, what is he really doing that's so... He's not a genius anymore. He's not. Hold on. He's part of the pack of very good elite...
I think he reached the finish line. There's nowhere else to go.
But down.
That's the problem.
Well, I don't know if there's nowhere else to go but down, but I do agree with you that, in this business, there is a ceiling. There's can't be a bigger rapper than Eminem.
There's no more building hype when you're Kanye or Eminem. You're not surprising anyone.
But how much more success can Eminem have?
Like the latest M album is great, but who cares?
It's 8 Mile happened. The Smash happened. Like 50 Cent.
Go relax.
Yeah, which he's been doing. I don't
want to yell at me anymore.
But you know what's funny? This business is, really chews people up and spits them out because everybody shits on M for being a recluse, and all M tried to do for the last couple of years is exactly what you suggested. Is just fucking relax. He's like, run. I'm in everybody's top rappers. I'm the most respected lyricist. I've sold more than whoever you could put him next to. He's outsold them. Yeah. Okay, so he's been commercially successful.
He's GOAT to me
and critically acclaimed.
He's GOAT to you?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I'm not even a huge fan, but objectively
Eminem's
speaking,
is Elvis the GOAT of rock and roll?
No.
Okay.
Different.
Just check.
The only Most Def would say Chuck Berry is the GOAT of rock and roll, and Elvis Presley ain't got no soul.
Exactly.
But that's a quote from Most Def. But what I think is that the only reason Eminem to me isn't my GOAT, not that he doesn't deserve to be up there, is because his catalog, his body of music.
Does this a lot, yeah.
And you can't do an hour set of listening to back. I mean, he has enough hits to do that, but you wouldn't do that. Whereas
you really have to listen. So the thing about Eminem, he doesn't make great songs. He's the greatest rapper.
So can he be the GOAT if he doesn't even make great songs?
I think he's the greatest rapper. So you
might say lyricist, top lyricist.
Sure.
Maybe top lyricist. Because when you say
I'm
the
curious
GOAT...
your take on this. I've said this before. I think the best a rapper has ever been for any moment in time, any instance of a rapper, is M on Renegade.
Oh yeah, M-Man, Renegade.
That's the best anyone's ever been.
He's up there. Nas Illmatic would be up there.
Sure.
And Jay-Z Dead Presidents would be up there, but at that point is Eminem's top.
Yeah, Renegade, the flow, what he's saying, the cadence of it, the pace, the whole thing is perfection.
Top three Eminem songs of all time.
And I think what's telling about it is that, in my opinion, the only two viable arguments for GOAT is M or J, and the one song they have together, M kills him.
Interesting. However, that doesn't negate the fact that Jay's catalog blows Eminem's catalog away.
There's also a lot of duds. There's a lot of duds on Jay's.
But I'll tell you something. That's one song where M came through and destroyed it, and sometimes magic happens. Sometimes an artist is feeling a beat, and it just
he had the right mix of drugs that day.
Yeah, and it just clicked.
I'll tell you mine. Speaking of right mix of drugs, I think the most elite level of rapping was when Wayne decided he's not writing things down anymore, and he started doing those mixtapes, the Drought 1, 2, 3.
But
when he was rapping on other people's beats, but there was a time. There was a time where I'd rather listen to Lil Wayne on someone else's beat than the actual song itself.
That's for sure. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah,
and Jay too. Talking about Jay, like the fact that I've heard people that have been in the studio with him. I've heard numerous times that he doesn't write, and it's like nothing's pen to paper, which is impressive. Right. But what I heard is he goes in and records every other line, and then he goes back and fills them in.
Well, hold on.
Who does that?
Let me break down what's happening.
That's savant syndrome.
No, it's not. That's bullshit.
He's gonna tell us why.
I'm gonna tell you the real. I'm gonna pull the veil on this magic trick.
Jay-Z's a pussy?
No, Jay-Z is my GOAT.
Okay.
First of all, and he is my favorite artist. All in all, but up there with Nas and Rakim and Slick Rick and a couple others, of course. But what Jay-Z is doing is what a lot of MCs do. There's two different schools of thought when it comes to creating a record. The first one is the traditional one that we always see, which is you hear the beat and you write to the beat and you try and custom make a flow and lines and you do your best. Another one is where you have a lot of verses because you're always collecting verses on similar tempos,
little parts,
and then you start to fit it, custom mix match it. And then the third is you do whatever hybrid of that works for you. So you might write a bit of it, you might take pieces of another verse, but when you come in to record it, you already have the verse memorized, meaning you don't actually write it on the spot or have it. And I used to write the same way, where when I would come to the studio, it's because I have the song completely ready to perform and I'm just doing my vocal take. So what Jay would do, I believe, just in my humble experience, is he has the whole track mapped out.
It's all already.
So he does the punchlines first, the ad-lib first, and then he works backwards.
Right.
But he's not writing it in reverse from the air, and everything you've heard from Jay-Z is a non-plotted freestyle. I guarantee it wouldn't come out that good.
You brought up a name.
It looks funny. It looks fun for the outside public.
Yeah, if you're in the studio and
you're
seeing
like,
it.
Whoa, Bless just closed his eyes and tapped on the thing and it just came. No, Bless had 15 verses he hoarded for 6 months, and I've been, and then when I do it, I'm just like, okay, like take the best of 2 takes because the song's been done in my head for months.
So you mentioned a name. I used to rap years ago.
You kind of still do.
I still do once in a while. Not like I'm not pursuing it or anything, but I write quite a bit. I love writing verses, and as a practice, I like to write a verse as someone. So I'll write a J verse or an M verse or a Yellow Wolf verse or whatever.
Whoever inspires you, you do your take on it and then fit it.
And I find that's a cool practice to do. And
every MC grows up doing that.
I found the one person that is impossible to emulate, Slick Rick.
Interesting.
Can't write a Slick Rick verse.
Interesting.
Maybe just me.
Well, he did have a very unique, wild style.
The way he would ride it, like a wave, like
it was swaggy as fuck. And that's why before I ever, he didn't exist, but before Nas came out, before Biggie dropped his original first records, Party and Bullshit, the guy I used to study was Slick Rick. He was my original favorite MC. Oh man. We've had this discussion
Mine's
before.
L because the way I rap when I write my own shit is A-A-B-B-A.
To me, LL?
That's an L punch is something rhyme, something rhyme, long sentence, whatever rhyme. That's an L rhyme.
L to me is one of the GOATs, is one of my favorite rappers. But one of my favorite rappers of all. Consistency, long career.
Are we talking about LL Cool J or we're talking about...
No, Big L.
Big L. Okay, just make
sure. Although, my
cool
go-to karaoke song is Mama Said Knock You Out.
Right. If you had to pick one song for your life depended on it, you
lyrics?
have to get every single lyric right on that one song. Mine? Was that?
When I was 7, it used to be, he's 5 years older than me. So, sorry if I wasn't supposed to say that on there.
Go.
I still don't know how old you are in yours.
I'm 26 forever, don't worry about it.
Yes, I'm 21.
Perfect.
When I was 7 or 8, he used to bring friends over because I knew every word of Shook Ones.
He told me that.
Right? We've had this conversation, but it's
Shook
absolutely
Ones,
hilarious.
And I loved, I knew every word. Do you remember the Little Soldiers? No Limit had where are the Little Soldiers at?
Yeah.
When I was 7 or 8 and Little Soldiers came out and there was rap for kids, I loved it.
You know what? I was so ignorant in that era that if it wasn't like really like East New York, like really like hip hop, I wasn't that into it. With the exception of like the Loonies, I got 5 on it, or like Hieroglyphics, like Souls of Mischief. But the like South shit at the time, it wasn't lyrical enough for me. But as my palate grew, I learned to appreciate how influential even 3 6 Mafia, bro. It literally shaped everything that's happening now.
Oh, and not only that, I will say about No Limit specifically,
the swag, everything.
The marketing genius of we're gonna have a whole roster of mediocre guys, and every Tuesday we're gonna put out a new album with 1 or 2 good features, and we're gonna go for quantity over quality.
And it worked like crazy. And their branding, although purposely cheesy, worked like crazy and inspired Cash Money.
Yep. And in an era like like the only marketing was like, how are we gonna get this album out? That was like,
in my mind, Master P and his movement with No Limit influences Cash Money, which ends up spawning Drake.
100%.
And this is a crazy parallel lineage to everything.
And No Limit starts because of Swisha House.
J. Prince.
There you go. There you go.
No, Rap-A-Lot. Sorry.
Rap-A-Lot. I just finished reading J. Prince's book. He's the first.
My favorite rapper of all time. Favorite rapper of all time, Scarface.
That's true.
He's in my top 5.
Scarface and Redman.
Scarface is in my top 5, and Redman's always never mentioned and deserves to be mentioned.
Redman's the best.
Scarface is always
Redman's the best because he was so silly in an era where you had to be like a gangster, and he got away with being.
But when he came out, though, it was hard, though. He was silly, but in a hard way.
Yes, of course. He was silly in a gutter way. He wasn't like, you weren't scared of him, but you were like,
but he might knock me out. Yeah.
He might
knock me out, but he's a nice guy.
Exactly. And as a guy who like makes a career online as being like a goofball, Redman was a huge inspiration.
But Redman was nasty. And you know what's amazing about Redman? Even though he's obviously not, pushed by the majors anymore, so he's not as out there as he once was, he only got better with time.
He's great.
Redman is better now than he was. Or just as good, let's say.
Yeah,
let's just say just as good. Redman is a guy who really loved hip hop and
he's an MC's MC.
Yeah, man.
He's like your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
Yeah, Scarface too. That's what, right. My favorite rappers are your favorite rappers, and my favorite comedians are your favorite comedians' favorite comedians.
You're wise beyond your years.
McDonald.
Well, comedy and hip hop are very similar in the way that it gets rolled out, in the way that comedians kind of come, and they come up on an underground circuit, and they're kind of big within the comic community before they're massive celebrities.
You need your community respect before mass
hip hop.
Respect.
Very similar in the way. It's just
the game's
and
changed.
Now it's all changed because you could put a YouTube video out and be Soulja Boy or whatever Vine star you want to mention.
Now, you have a face tattoo, you're a rapper.
Right.
It's that simple. It's you have a face tattoo, you're on. You want to say something? Go say something.
What does the Bunty King want to say?
Bunty wants to say something. Say something, Bunty. Go.
Nah.
This is Bunty.
Well, no, you're in now.
Go for it. You're in.
Now it's too late.
You have to.
Like I feel like the thing is that. Sorry, I've got to get closer
to the mic. Yeah.
All right, I feel like the thing is that like you still have to go about it. If you're depending on the scale that you're going for, depending on the lasting effect that you want, you still go for the inside clout before you go for mass clout.
Totally agree with you, and that's why that's what I said. The parallels between comedy and hip hop.
I Instagrammed today. Respect lasts longer than attention. Valuable lesson to a lot of you kids out there.
That's a good one.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you something. When I first started making my first album, which Plattenberg, the movement that you guys brought up earlier, it took me 2 years to work on that album to get it to where I was comfortable to put it out. Really? And it took me years before that of all the practice and verses I'd collected, and I put my best foot forward.
And most people, their first album is a collection of everything they've done in their life.
Because it's the most genuine.
So that was the story with me.
Because most people's first album is what truly like they're an artist and this represents them or whatever, and then you start getting label deals and you have X amount of albums to do and whatever.
And you
whatever.
get pressured
the first
into
is usually
pumping
the
out
best.
a product.
Yeah.
And it took me so long to get that first project out. But the impact that it had for you guys to even bring it up today, it's been 15 years. I was so happy I took my time in retrospect, because even if I stepped away from music, that body of work spoke for itself.
How'd you come up with the name?
It was actually a joke originally.
It wasn't the A-Rap Money. That was way after, right?
Oh,
that was way after.
Yeah, that was years.
That was years after.
But it came out like I was getting drunk with a homie, and I was like, yo, fuck Silverberg, fuck Goldberg, I'm Mr. Platinumberg. And then I was like, Platinumberg.
That's good.
I'm like, that'd be a good name for something. And then when it came time to do the project, I said, yo, we should call this Platinumberg. And then it kind of started becoming like a collective, so we called the label Platinumberg and the crew Platinumberg. So that's why it was Bless Presents Platinumberg the Movement. Platinumberg the Movement was my crew, me trying to start a little production company
of
just
nice
to put
Jewish
out
boys?
Well, there wasn't many nice Jewish boys in my crew.
He was the only Jewish guy on the team, I think. You're the only Jewish guy on the team, I think.
And my other boy TFS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to the tribesmen.
Yeah. But no, it was just a fun play on words, and it was just, you know what I mean? At the time there was a lot of, there was like nonfiction, there was a lot of Jewish cats doing their thing. So it was just like there was High and Mighty were Jewish cats.
The Beastie Boys.
This is a little bit after that. But there was quite a few, especially in underground hip hop.
Third base?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, right?
Of course.
If you think about it, a yoga retreat's a different type of concentration camp.
That was a very random.
Yeah, we don't need that
insert.
one. All right, so
but he's going. But he is a comedian, guys. It's a disclaimer. He is a comedian.
Oh, leave it. Fuck him.
He is a comedian.
Fuck him.
But anyways, I think it's really important to put your best foot forward because you're right. Respect does last longer than attention, and getting attention for talent is commendable.
Well, that's what. But that's what the industry.
Attention for attention.
Most industries today are attention for attention. You look at how many Vine stars are not funny. How many rappers get a face tattoo, like you said, and all of a sudden are going to be SoundCloud famous. They don't need to be good. They just need the attention.
But are they going to be legendary? Are they going to stand the test of time? And it depends what your motivation is, bro. If your motivation in entertainment is a quick, cheesy hustle, whether it's comedy, whether it's hip hop,
I just want to fuck Zoe Kravitz.
Whatever. Yeah. I don't blame you. She's beautiful. But I'm saying if it's a money grab, more power to you. But if I could tell, you're passionate about what you do, I'm very passionate about what I do. For me, it's about being legendary. For me, it's about contributing to this culture that gave me a lot.
Yeah, and
gave us a lot as kids.
And you want to leave something for the world, right? Thank you.
That's right.
Yeah.
And when you're an artist, it's very important to do that. So I think it boils down to there's two very different types of people, which are there's people who are looking at this as a short-term hustle. And if they're making it work, doing whatever, good for you. But me personally, I never looked at this as a cash grab. I looked at it as a lifestyle.
Exactly. I don't think that...
I'm with you.
I don't think that fame cannot be a goal. Fame is a byproduct of being successful at something. Right. Is a byproduct of being passionate and talented. Fame is a goal to too many people.
I'll tell you the flip side to that. When I put out my first record, it had a good amount of buzz, and locally, at least here in Canada, everywhere I went, people were coming up to me, but I didn't really make a lot of money off of the project. So I had this problem where I was getting my privacy invaded, and I had weird people coming up to me, aggressive and drunk, and I didn't have money for security. So let me tell you something. There's a flip side to being somewhat famous, at least maybe street famous, and not having the resources.
I think we're all kind of in the same boat.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we've been there.
We've all kind of experienced it.
And I used to laugh. I'd say, yo, go be jealous of Snoop. Yeah. He's making money. I don't have no money. Yeah. Don't worry about me, bro.
There was a time when we'd go out, like Tyler and I, during like the heyday of Epic Mealtime, and it's autographs, it's pictures, and for myself, I was like the old dirty bastard of the clique when he was around. Yeah. So like I was a liability. I was drunk the whole time, and what would happen is kids would be on the street, can we get a picture? And I'd be like, no more pictures. No. And like Tyler, Harley Weber, they'd look at me, they'd be like, yo, kid wants a fucking picture, let him have a picture.
But no, it's true. Like the notion of like the money not being there, but the fame being there is so interesting. It's a problem, bro. I remember vividly a moment. It was me, Harley, and Alex Muscles Glasses. We were in LA to shoot something, and like our agent hooked us up with a car, and then we ran into
it wasn't
Ken
just
Block.
A car. It was a.
And then we ran into Ken Block, who owns DC Shoes, and he was like, "Go by the store, grab whatever you want." So we go downstairs, and we have it was 2013, and there's this 2014 Aston Martin waiting for us. Mm-hmm. So we get into this Aston Martin. We go to DC expecting to like it be a meet and greet, and they're like, grab whatever you want. We grab like thousands of dollars each in free shit, and we're stuffing all of
I used to live on that.
We're stuffing all of our free shit into our Aston Martin, driving down Hollywood Boulevard. And I look at these guys, and I was like, you know what's really funny about this?
We're not making any money.
Tomorrow we all go home to our parents' basements.
Yeah, and that's real, bro. And you know what? That's real. Yeah, that's real. And it's like, especially in hip hop too, you could imagine the situations that we were in weren't necessarily as friendly as like the YouTube crowd or your crowd might have been. Right. So you got people who resent you because you represent an opportunity they're not getting.
I always wanted to bring that to YouTube.
Yeah,
I always wanted to be the YouTubers that beat the shit out of people, and it was like you don't talk
like
about
bum fights early. The early bum fights. Remember that shit? That shit was ahead of the curve.
No, not on camera though. I wanted us to like do our YouTube show, and there's other people that have their YouTube shows. But like, if we run into you, we're kicking your ass.
But other YouTubers, like other YouTubers,
other YouTubers.
Yeah,
if you have more subscribers and we see you,
it's a wrap.
But
you could do that and have them in on it, so you know you actually.
No, I want it to be like a non-spoken reputation thing.
Well, we had a lot of non-spoken reputations that we still don't speak on, but unfortunately, we had no money for security, and then it ended up being you get your homies, and we've talked about this before with certain rappers having the wrong people around them who don't necessarily bring them anything but headaches. And that was to a large part a lot of artists find themselves in a position where their homies are doing security for them, and then rather than keeping them out of trouble, they're getting them into trouble because them dudes have nothing to lose.
Speaking of which, Suge Knight.
Nice transition.
Yeah, did you hear? Speaking of homies that you don't want around you, Suge Knight's the king of that. He's probably the number one ever. He releases you from jail to get you killed. That's how bad of a person he is.
By mistake.
Right. Suge Knight
allegedly
murder trial started today, and he copped a deal. The biggest, baddest gangster of them all copped a deal. He's doing 28 years at the age of 60, whatever. He's eligible for parole in 5, and he's already sat for 3. Technically, Suge Knight could be out in 2 years.
Oh, well, the reason they did the deal is because with the time served, he's going to be out in 2 years. And
from 28 to 2, and it was life.
But
he took the deal.
But hold on. See,
Suge's the winner.
I think that because he's very notoriable, whoever is involved with the case wants a conviction and wants it to go on their fucking file that they gave Suge 28 years, whatever that means. So his lawyer probably said, look, you've already have that time served, which I don't know in the States if it counts as double time.
It's not the same as Canada.
Okay,
but you think he did it?
He ran. There's video. He ran the guy over.
If there's video of it, and if he fights it, and
I mean, good sarcasm, but I'm mad.
But you know what though? It's undebatable that he did it, I guess, from the footage, but he's saying it was self-defense. But because he has such a bad reputation, if he goes with that self-defense and he loses, guess what? They're going to give him life, no parole.
When you're Suge Knight,
it's pretty much a win. He sat through it already, and if he's out in 2 years, his brand is still going to be up. So I think that was a win.
Question for you.
What is his brand?
It's a
let's
red
say
blazer.
Suge Knight gets out of jail. What's he doing? He's not producing records, right?
He doesn't have to. So there's certain people who want to be around his allure.
Just make a career off being Suge Knight?
He's been doing that since Pac passed. And you know what? He could get a movie deal, a book deal, this, that, or strong arm himself.
It's like a President's Choice brand Khaled.
Hey, man. Well, I don't know because
he does nothing right. There's just him.
There's a lot of rappers. There's a lot of rappers in the West Coast who would like the cred of having Suge manage them.
Yes.
Right? And the fear that goes along with that.
His name still holds weight as a bully. It doesn't hold weight as a music executive.
Did I ever tell you the time I met Suge Knight in Vegas?
He hung you over a balcony.
I don't think you've told us on the cast. But
no, although I do have nice hair.
He hung you over a balcony?
Not Robert Van Winkle. I'm not
Tyler, you need this story. This is actually a very funny story.
I went to actually there's a double tie-in. So Nick Cannon was DJing at a private party.
It all ties back.
It's a fact, yeah. So I went to a party. Blessy at a point was trying to be in the schmata business.
Of course.
When I saw that free DC shoes, and in my case, it was DC shoes as well, by the way.
Shout out Ken Block then.
Shout out actually the Canadian distributor, my man G-Man. Time Bomb Distribution in the West Coast. They've distributed like all these brands and they were always really supportive of me and would always bring me out to Van, and he was a promoter and he was in the clothing business. Cool. So I saw a lot of these guys pioneering, and I said, yo, that is a great way to brand myself. Even before it was the obvious move, I wanted to get in on that. So I would go to Vegas to go to all the trade shows. I'd hand out my mixtape, my business card, introduce myself.
The Agenda show?
Agenda and Magic, and then I would try and kind of get Canadian distribution for these up and coming brands, and I did it with a few brands. So one night, one of my buddies who's big in the clothing business says, I'm throwing a private party at the Hard Rock Casino. Why don't you come through? I'm going to have Nick Cannon DJing in this hotel suite, in this penthouse suite.
How much do you think Nick Cannon is to DJ these days?
You know what? I think he was just doing it on the love because my boy was doing clothing business.
But like today, $3 million?
This is like
I was gonna say like 20, 30K.
Yeah.
this was like 6
He's
months
not married
before
to
he
Mariah anymore.
before he married Mariah.
Yeah.
So his stock value wasn't through the roof yet.
He's still
he
like
was just
he's coming
going
up.
up.
And now he's back there.
You're right. So
Okay, keep going.
so we go into this party. I bring one of my buddies. And it's like a mixer, you know, it's like the California wine mixer, but in Vegas, right? It's like,
What's
so
it
like
called? The
Step Brothers. Catalina wine
Yeah.
mixer, sorry,
There
from
you
Step
go.
Brothers. So we go in the party and
Big
shit.
fucking deal.
Yeah, it was a big and the party was a big fucking deal. So I see Nick Cannon's DJing, and there's like girls in a hot tub on like
In the
roof, in the tub, and everybody's there. And then I go into the hotel room part of the party, and it's like open bar. And I fucking see Suge Knight, full red silk
He's like acting
pajama
figure Suge Knight.
suit with the big diamond earrings, smoking a cigar, and
Full character.
a full character. And I nudge my boy, who's this like Jewish
even
kid.
wanna talk to that
He's
guy.
this Jewish
No.
kid from LA who I was doing clothing business with, and I'm like, yo, Adam. I'm gonna go talk to Suge. Fuck it, you only live once. And Adam's like, this like 40-year-old Jewish kid, and he's like, dude, you don't want to fucking do that. He's an asshole. Because they grow up hearing stories of him gooning
I've heard
everybody
many,
and punking everyone off. And I'm like, well, fuck that. I'm blessed, and I'm taking this one. I met Pac when I was a kid, and now I'm gonna meet Suge tonight. So I march up to the bar, try to order a drink. There's no space, right?
Suge's like 6'6",
And
like
then I'm
300
like,
pounds.
I'm like, hey, yo, my man. I'm like, I had to God did this. I'm like, hey, yo, my man. And he doesn't even acknowledge anything. He's doing whatever he's doing, or cigar, talking to something. I tap him. And then I'm like, could you pass me like, I don't know, a fucking napkin or a stir or whatever. I asked him to like open the conversation, and he just looked at me with the eyes of death and just continued to talk like he's a stone cold cat. You know what I'm saying? Like he
No
didn't play
interest.
along. No interest. He wasn't even like, yo, like he just gave me the look of death and just kept talking, and like Suge doesn't play. It's not a character.
Yeah,
he puts on.
he's
a
really
real nut.
Suge Knight.
Yeah, he's a real nut. And then I was
It's not like a makeshift Suge.
Yeah, no,
my
it's
boy
not
was
a persona.
Yeah, my boy's like, how did that go for you? And I'm like, it was awkward. He's like, you're lucky it didn't get more awkward. Suge is known for being a real asshole. You know what I'm saying?
He could have pushed and been like, we have a problem? He could have.
It just because of my size and his size would have been so ridiculously
Yeah.
bullyish.
Fair.
But maybe had I been like a brother who's 6 foot, maybe I would have caught a slap from Suge. Like, who knows? You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I didn't really come at him too crazy. I asked him for a fucking napkin or something.
I'd get
but,
my ass kicked by Suge for the story.
Hey, man, Suge got knocked out though.
By who?
This cat.
Tyrese.
No, like this cat at a club, like a regular dude knocked Suge out.
Tyrese is baby boy. What's his name? Not Joe Brennan. What's
Debo.
Not Zebo. What's his name?
Tiny Liston, no?
No,
Or
what's
that
his name
Friday.
from Baby Boy?
D-boy.
That was Friday.
Debo.
It's not Debo. It's
Sorry,
Baby Boy.
I
That's from
derailed
Friday.
us, yeah.
Yeah.
Ving Rhames.
Vin Rhames.
Ving
Love
Rhames
Vin
instead
Rhames.
of Suge Knight. Same guy.
Debo's
Tiny
another
Liston.
guy. There you go.
Zeus.
Yeah. Zeus, yes.
You know, I was thinking that would make a great remake for 2018. No Holds Barred
Oh, that was
would be a great 2018
movie.
remake.
Or you know what?
Michael
flip,
B. Jordan and The Rock,
or a flip for like a music video, like a ridiculous Action
Yeah.
Bronson video, like a flip.
Yeah.
Well, you have
Copyright
what's his name?
trademark.
That's a good idea.
Tiny Liston's obviously way too old and like
No, you can't.
he's too decrepit.
No,
he can't be in it.
He's
but,
too decrepit.
But yeah, no, he's like, like weird.
I
Like,
love the word decrepit.
Yeah.
It's so vile.
Means he's dusty.
he probably has like saggy man tits.
Yeah,
like he's just
yeah,
not
for
right.
sure.
But what's his name would be great.
Brian.
The slap the cigarette out of your hand guy.
Who?
I'll fuck your wife, Tyrone.
Tyrone.
I'll fuck your wife.
You know the guy, I'll fuck
YouTube
your
guy.
wife. He rolls up on you and he's like,
Oh, but
"My
he's like a
name's
social
Tyrone."
media guy
I'm Tyrone,
now.
and
right?
I'm here to
No, I'm
fuck
talking
your
like
wife.
real actors. We're making a movie here.
Oh, I was thinking music
I'm
video.
saying Michael B. Jordan and The Rock.
I'm saying
But what?
music video,
But what?
Tyrone.
YouTube celebrities are not real actors?
No.
Imagine.
Ooh,
Imagine.
no,
No,
definitely
they're
not.
Definitely not, I know.
I
It's
can't
bad.
act for shit, and I have all kinds of videos.
Yeah.
Right?
I have an IMDb page for some reason.
But
I
you know
have
what
two.
though?
I have two.
What do you
I
guys
have my
think
real
being
name
from
and
the
my
YouTube
nickname.
world? Why don't more YouTubers go get acting lessons and really
do.
take it seriously?
They do. A lot
They
do.
should. They should.
But why go be a small fish in a big pond where you can make less when you can make millions doing worse?
Right.
Well, because you can continue to make millions doing worse and hopefully use it as a platform to
I think if you're going to succeed at either, you need to focus on one of the
transition.
two.
But I mean, focusing. The YouTubers do the shit full time.
Yeah, it's a full-time job.
I think this is a new medium also. So when you look at like movies and you look at
why go
TV,
from what's
YouTube's a new Saturday Night Live.
Why go from what's next to what's past?
That's it.
You know?
I got you. So so you think the medium of YouTube is more relevant than being in movies?
No,
I think if you're on the demographic.
I think if you're
to
good
a 13-year-old,
perhaps
to a 13 to 18-year-old audience, of course.
I would say right now in the
Jake
world,
Paul matters more than Tom Cruise to the 13-year-old.
That's what I was about to say is if you had to go and like in the world right now, I would say Jake Paul is more well known than Schwarzenegger. If I had to guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's just because the era we live in where he gets 10, 12 million every time he puts out a video and there's new fans every day.
But you know what? I think we need to embrace whatever's going on now, but realize that the foundation needs to, like you said, the long game, right?
Someone put alcohol in this?
Our producers are bad people.
They're drugging our drinks.
Right?
It's becoming hazy.
I've never had a drink before. The long game.
You were saying long game.
The long game. You know, what do you guys think about Drake? To me, should use his platform to go into film.
I think that's next. I think that's the next
step.
Our
production company or whatever. Even I was in LA like 2 weeks ago, and I had a meeting with a studio, and the meeting ended, and I'm like walking through, and I know that the studio I pitched to shares an office with Blake Griffin's production company.
Okay.
And as I'm walking through, I walk past an office. There's Blake sitting at a desk. I looked like he was pretending to work. But like, yeah, these guys with like these platforms
weird.
And this money.
It's always weird when you see an NBA player in front of a computer.
Yeah,
like why
I
are
feel
you
like he's just smashing a calculator?
Don't do this.
So where's your crossover, man?
Anyway, keep going.
But yeah, it's
wardrobe malfunction here with the beard.
There's guys that are smart about it that are using their platform and their sudden influx of money to like make something.
You need to. In the legacy of the great Harvey Weinstein.
Wow.
Poor guy's getting roasted right now.
No, but you look at some of the crossover YouTubers that went into movies or TV.
Yeah,
doesn't work yet. They're not that accepted.
King Batch is in a lot of shit.
King Batch is good, but like you look at Vitaly.
There's very few though. The Vitaly movie sucked.
I love Vitaly.
But what are they?
He's ridiculous.
Smosh Bros did a movie.
Yeah.
There's been what's her name? Hannah's been in a couple movies.
Yeah.
It doesn't really.
Oh yeah, they made a movie. The Mamrie and Hannah and Grace made a movie.
Right.
Although I feel like those don't do mainstream success, but they perform well and they probably make money based off fan base.
Based off of their fan base, and that's it. But it's not like they're not like movie theater releases.
Yeah.
It's not like they're blockblockbuster.
You know who did a great job? What's his name? He's in the 22 Jump Street with the purple hair. Who am I thinking of?
YouTuber?
Yeah, he's a YouTuber.
Purple hair.
I'm blanking on his name. He's great. He's fully a movie star now. He's in all kinds of movies.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I don't know.
Leave a comment in the section below.
Yeah. Someone tell us who that is. Purple hair YouTuber.
In 22 Jump Street.
Speaking of which, we're just about there. You could leave a comment about how much you love this podcast. Yeah. I think that's it's about where we're at this time. Mm-hmm. We've done what, like 45, 50 minutes?
But we never answered one question. What is off limits?
I said nothing.
You said nothing.
Sorry, repeat that.
You never answered my question.
Which was?
Who's the least famous person you ever fucked?
The least famous person I ever fucked? I tried not to fuck famous people.
Right?
Cool.
Fair enough.
I think so. The least famous person.
Least famous.
Who's the most famous person I ever fucked?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Well, you're not answering any of them. I know you.
Yeah.
There's no way
I'll
you're
answer this one.
Off camera.
Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson?
I'm joking.
Janet Jackson. Actually,
I have a friend.
Completely serious. Okay, big deal. Me and Janet had a brief thing, but Jermaine Dupri got involved, and it was
So
weird. We're both short, and
I have a friend.
horrible.
I was talking in LA. I won't name any names, but he was telling me this story about how he had a foursome. Him and his girlfriend with Zoe Kravitz and her boyfriend.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, that's the coolest thing I've ever heard.
But Zoe Kravitz's boyfriend still piped out his bitch.
He goes, no, man, I was so drunk, like I couldn't get it up. So I spent the whole night
watching him bang my girlfriend.
I spent the whole night eating out Zoe Kravitz while this dude banged my girlfriend. It was the worst night of my life.
You see, everything sounds good on paper, but in reality,
pull the veil,
right?
Behind the curtain, it's not.
I let this creep fuck my girl, and I kind of just ate out
Moral of the
Zoe
story:
Mark.
you guys don't want to be famous.
Yeah, exactly. Don't be famous.
It's not
Fame
worth
is
it.
definitely not all
Enjoy
it's
it.
cracked up to
You want to
be.
eat Zoe Kravitz's pussy for 4 hours? You could be famous.
I mean,
While her man drills out
Yeah.
your wife, bro.
Tyler, any last words?
Ointment.
Ointment. Bless, you want to send us off with
The
something?
top ointment is difficult.
Ointment. Hold on. Tell Bless your joke.
What's my joke?
When you meet new people and you're in a new setting, he's got a joke that I just
I have
love.
an icebreaker. You feel free, everyone at home listening. You could take this if you want. This is my icebreaker in like awkward situations. If I want to like make sure that everyone's comfortable. Did you know that pigeons die when they have sex?
I did not.
Well, the one I fucked did.
He's a bad person.
Because you broke it in half.
I mean, it's like a fleshlight, right? Anything's a fleshlight if you're not a pussy.
Now that is a quote. Anything's a fleshlight if you're not a pussy.
Wow.
That's gold.
Wow.
And I think we're going to leave you guys on that note.
Okay.
Thank you for tuning in. It's your boy Bless, Lemmy. Big shout out to Tyler Lemco
My
for being
little
with
brother.
us. The little homie, now the big homie.
Very little.
The
The
biggest
little
little
bro who looks at least as old, if not
He
older
was
than
shocked that he's the older brother.
you. Yeah, I was like,
I get that a lot,
Little
actually.
brother?
You must moisturize, right?
I do.
Yeah, that's what
no,
it is. That's what it
aloe.
is.
he's
every day.
He's pickled himself with all the Jameson over years. You
That's
preserved yourself.
Yeah.
No, I think once you became a little more famous and had more Twitter followers and Instagram followers, I'm just like, you know what, you're older now. Like you can
You
have
gotta
that
give
one,
him the stature.
right? You can have that one.
You
Like it's
got
fine. Guys, it was a pleasure.
Pleasure.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much for being here. As always,
Everyone's
we
so
are the
thankful.
moment of truth. Peace.
Yeah, represent one time on the M.I.C.